Okay, there I am somewhere, and somebody I want to talk to, maybe have a little conversation. And hello again.
Hey Charles, how are you?
Fine, and you are?
Tom Mann, Executive Director of the New Brunswick Union.
Union. So, how's the union these days with our new government? Any news?
Yeah, it's been very interesting and busy. We're very aware, as most public employees are aware, that the province has a significant deficit gap. You know, it's $840 million, and it's going to grow naturally to almost $1 billion. So the Minister of Finance and sometimes the Premier have been going around the province talking to New Brunswickers about how to balance the books, but how to take a balanced approach to the deficit. And
you guys been coming at these meetings?
Yeah. There's been a fairly regular turnout at the meetings. We've also had 2 face-to-face meetings with the Minister of Finance now, and we meaning all of the public sector unions. Our first meeting was with all the leaders of all the unions in the province, and they've come out and they've laid out, you know, the problem.
Friday?
Friday we had a meeting, just representatives of the public sector, the teachers, the nurses, CUPE, New Brunswick Union, PIPs, and we went basically one-on-one with them for almost 2 hours.
How did that go?
Well, it went well.
Confidential? Or?
Oh no. I think it went well. I think the minister, you know, is continuing with his message that the government alone can't do this, and I think he learned again from the unions that we want to play our part. You know, we want to. We all live in this province. We consume the services of the government in this province. We're neighbors with consumers. We're taxpayers, but most of all, we're citizens. And we want the province to survive, and it's a significant problem. It's a large chunk of money, and we wanted him to know that, you know, we'll play our part. However, it has to be balanced. You know, and we've given him suggestions on raising revenue, you know, raising taxes. You know, the taxes that were cut back in 2008 by the Liberal government, we have to roll back to that point. That cost New Brunswickers $370 million.
That much?
That much. 170 million of that has already been it's already been collected, or not collected, I should say. So it's less money in the revenue of the province. And when you consider the services in the province, you know, they're necessary. The government doesn't set up services just because they say, hey, let's have a service. They set up a service because there's a demand for it. You know, this government, the Premier was involved in the poverty reduction initiative, and they said they would be committed to that.
They never talked much about that.
No, but they did say publicly back in October, I guess in October, that they remain committed to that. And you know, the little work that was done to help social assistance recipients has to continue. They can't stop there. They can't go backwards. You know, there's real strides, because what we have in this province is an inequality between the rich and the middle class, and the working poor and the poor. And the 3 categories, middle class, working poor, and poor, it's getting bigger, and the distance between the rich in this province is getting larger. And in a civilization or in a community, that inequality is what is at the basis of a lot of our problems.
Tom, what do you think of that stupid suggestion somebody made about minimum wages?
The 2-tier minimum wage.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I do know that the minister is saying that everything is on the table. You know, he has to say that. He can't say, here's our ideas. He wants to hear from New Brunswickers. You know, that was suggested somewhere. Someone suggested that wages of government employees should be rolled back. Those aren't his ideas. He's just saying, yeah, we'll put it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect this government for the approach that they've taken, you know, going out to the public.
Volpe did the same thing there with Bernard Lord.
Oh, Volpe did it. Victor Boudreau tried to do it.
Greg Burns did it the last time.
Yeah, and you know...
it's a public relation thing.
Yeah, but I think this is more than that, and I think the public are taking it more seriously. There's more people going out. Certainly, the suggestions that are coming forward are new. You know, people are really scratching their heads as to how to save this government money. And there's one of the things that has to stop within government. This idea that little savings don't matter. We want the big savings. But you know what, Charles? $100 million is the bill for electricity and gas to heat the government offices in this province in 1 year. $100 million.
In the province or just Fredericton?
No, in the province.
Okay.
And if they would undertake for example, a public awareness or an employee awareness campaign, shut your computers off at night, turn the lights off. It won't cost them any money to do that. I've had energy experts say they could save 10% of that bill right off the bat. $10 million there. We know that there are other
I blogged that a couple of months ago. Centennial Building, all the lights were open.
Yeah, no one home.
No one home. Yeah.
You know, that and this idea that, oh, it's just a light switch, you know, it really isn't going to add up. But we're at that state in trying to address this problem, that all of those things make sense. All of those things have to be put on the table so that we can save the services, that we can save and improve the rates to social assistance recipients, that we can keep health care, the vital services that are in health, in education. We can't afford to continue to cut those. We're here, you know, 10th in the country in obesity, 10th in we finished last in countrywide high school testing. You know, we can't continue that record and expect this province to get better. So I think that's why people are getting at that. You know, we got to chip in, but there's got to be a raising of revenue. There's got to be taxes put on the people who.
Part one. Okay, hold it. Because once we get going, we get going.